about a week ago, I was searching on Facebook Marketplace for a used Honda Helix scooter. I hadn't had a motorcycle for a while, and I kind of wanted something to buy and something to work on and ride around town on. So I came across one advertised as a 2003 Honda Helix with one owner, 1,000 miles. When I went to view the motorcycle, the owner was an elderly woman whose husband bought her the scooter so she could ride along with him as he had a different motorcycle, and she could ride this by herself since it's an automatic, doesn't have a clutch. And they rode together. Her husband passed away about 5 years ago, she said. I was really curious about how many actual miles the motorcycle had on it because it was advertised, like I said, as driven 1,000 miles. The odometer showed the motorcycle had 14,241 miles on it, which is fairly low for a motor scooter of that age. Luckily, in the trunk of the motorcycle, there was a lot of old registration cards. There was a lot of old inspection receipts. Investigating those items, I came to the conclusion that she was the third owner of the motorcycle. Also concluded it was actually a 1998 Honda Helix, not 2003 as advertised. Perhaps she got confused because her husband's motorcycle that was also for sale was a 2003, or they actually bought the motorcycle from the second owner in the year 2003. But anyway, I figured it out. She advertised the scooter for $1,000. Looking at the scooter, of course, it was a barn find, by the way. It was literally parked in a barn where her husband had all her tools and did all kinds of work. Dusty, of course. You still see the dust on it now. I haven't done anything to it as of yet. Very dusty. But I noticed all the plastic parts are on the scooter. There's no cracks to them at all. So I'm curious to what it's going to look like when I clean it up. But there's no cracks in any of the red plastic parts. There's no cracks in any of the black plastic parts. And there's no broken headlamp, tail lamps, or signal lights lenses that I can see. Now when I clean it up, I'll be able to tell a little better. It also came with the original owner's manual. Every required maintenance interval was checked off in the service manual, which is great. But the bike wouldn't start. The battery was dead. The bike wouldn't start. But lifting the seat, I saw nothing missing. The only thing literally I've done to this motorcycle so far is I took the old battery out, and I've got a new battery that I bought here charging. I figured out from the old registration cards, the service sign-offs in the owner's manual, all the inspection receipts. I figured out that the first owner owned the bike, bought the bike new in 1998, and rode it approximately 10,000 miles before he sold it in 2000 to the second owner, who put approximately 1,000 miles on the motorcycle, and then sold it to the third owner who had the bike up for sale that I was visiting, and she put approximately 3,000 miles on a bike, which got it up to the 14,000 miles that's on it now. The last inspection sticker on the bike is dated May of 2015, and the inspection receipt from that date says it had 14,218 miles on it. So only a couple miles have been put on this bike since that inspection sticker was on there. So this bike has been sitting roughly over 10 years without being moved or started. When a bike's been sitting that long, the last thing you want to do is pop the new battery in and try to crank it. You can cause a lot more trouble when you do that. So I looked at the DOT stamp on the tires, front and back. Those tires were manufactured in 2002, even though they have some good tread left on them. If you really look at them close, they've got some cracks in it. Really, any tires over 10 years old, regardless of what the tread looks like, need to be replaced. So I've ordered some new tires. My new tires are on the way. I also have to replace the carburetor. I decided to get an aftermarket carburetor, and I will keep the old original carburetor on it because you're not going to find an aftermarket carburetor as good as that one. But when I place the new carburetor on it, hopefully I can get it running, and then I will get a repair kit to replace, to work on the inside of the new carburetor, the original carburetor that came on the motorcycle. Naturally, I have to replace all the rubber fuel line on the motorcycle. I also have to replace the fuel filter, the fuel pump, and the manifold adapter that between the carburetor and the engine manifold. That's rubber as well, so that has to be so gasoline has to be totally drained. I've got to look in the gasoline tank. I'm going to have to drain the gasoline tank, try to get any rust out of the gasoline tank that's in there, flush that out, drain all the gas, replace the fuel filter, replace the carburetor, and we'll see how that goes. And then I'm going to have to flush the whole coolant system and probably replace all the rubber coolant lines as well, and put a new thermostat in it. So bottom line is I'm going to do everything that's recommended I do to a motorcycle that's been sitting for over 10 years. And before I do more damage by trying to start it without doing those things, and I don't know if I'm going to do a video on every single thing I do, but I'm going to try. It'll be too long in one video if I just show everything I did to get it running, so it'll probably be more than one video. It'll probably be quite a few actually. But this is my project. This is the 1998 Honda Helix project. This is a barn find. This is a classic barn find. This scooter has been parked in the barn undercover since 2003. And that's a good thing. That's a plus. There's no indication of any cracked plastic parts at all. The red, the black, any of the tail lights, the mirrors, signal lights, headlights, anything, nothing's cracked. No lenses are cracked. There's every recommended maintenance point has been performed and signed off inside the owner's manual, which is good. It's good it came with his owner's manual. It's good I have all the history with all the registrations cards, all the old registration cards, all the old inspection receipt. Another plus is when I first pulled up on this place, I saw all these contraptions and mechanical things that her husband had worked on, and the barn had just so many tools, mechanical tools, carpentry type tools. So her husband maintained this motorcycle as well as his, so that gave me a really good feeling about everything. Yeah, it's a lot of work, but based on everything I saw, all the evidence, talking to the owner, seeing all the evidence, seeing what I saw, seeing the mileage, plus knowing that it's set for more than 10 years, but undercover, this is, like I said, this is a classic barn find scooter. I offered $800. She accepted. She was asking $1,000, but based on the fact that it wouldn't start, I felt the max it was worth was $800, and she accepted. Now, what makes it worth more than $200-300 as a parts bike is because everything I mentioned that came with it, the way it was stored, the way it looked, the maintenance records, all the registration cards. This is more than just a parts motorcycle here. This is something that I'm certain I can get started. Hope I'm not putting my foot in my mouth. I can't get it started, but if I do the work, it'll pay off for me. So that's why I offered $800, and that's why it's not just a old scooter that's good for parts only, I believe. So we'll see. I'll keep a tally of the price of all the pieces and parts I have to buy to get this thing running. But that's my goal. My goal is to get this running. I'm in no hurry. I'm gonna try to do everything right, do a pre-start inspection, and we'll see how this goes, and I'll keep you informed. Till next time, bye.